Hello and welcome to Knittin from the Mitten. My name is Tiffany and I'm coming to you from Midland, Michigan, which is also known as the Mitten State. You can find me on Ravelry and Periscope as tiffgroomsdogs, on Instagram as Knittin from the Mitten, and we have a Ravelry group called Knittin from the Mitten Podcast. So today I have both Benny and Ella here with me, but you can't really see Ella too much, but she might make an appearance. She also tends to make really weird noises when she's here too, so if you hear anything weird, it's probably her. Thank you to anyone who is new for checking out my podcast, and thank you to any returning viewers as well. I really appreciate you coming back every week to check me out. So I have an FO this week, and I will start off with that. I've got this little baby sweater. This is the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, and you can see this over there. This is where I was last time, so not very far, but I finished this up like 4 days later. Like, this was such a fast knit and it was so much fun. I used just some stash worsted yarn that I've got, just acrylic, it's nothing fancy. And yeah, it's just a green, and then I did a little bit of brown on the end where the cuffs are because I ran out, and I had a feeling I was gonna run out because so first, this is a free pattern, by the way. So first you work from the top down, so you do the neck and then you kind of add in the stitches for the sleeves, and then here you put the sleeves on scrap yarn and then you work the rest of the body. So while I was working the body, I kind of had an inkling that I was going to be running out of yarn, and I had no idea. I think I just acquired this yarn from someone. I don't even know if it's Red Heart or if it's somebody else. I have no idea what kind of yarn it was. And so I didn't really want to go out and buy a whole new thing of it because I was trying to use it up. So what I did is I was praying that I would at least make it to the end of the body. But what I did was I made it all the way to the end, and then I picked up the sleeves. I used a set of circulars and a set of DPNs because that's just what I had in the same size. And what I did was I knit the sleeve on this side with coming from the middle of the center pulled ball. And then I grabbed the yarn from the end of the cake, and I was knitting over here. So I had it like strung together, so there was like the yarn was going in between. And I would do an inch on one side, and I did an inch on the other side. I'd do an inch on one side, and I'd do an inch on the other side. That way, I could end the sleeves at the same spot, and then I just grabbed some more acrylic yarn and finished up the sleeves that way. So that way I knew that at least they would be even when I ran out, and I did. I only had like this much of the acrylic yarn left. It was really funny. But so yes, this is for my little nephew. He is due September 22nd. So very, very excited to meet that little guy. And this will be my second nephew, and my other nephew's 13. So it's been a while since I had a little nephew. So I'm really excited to meet him when he decides to show up. And let's see. Oh, the sizes that I used for that are what's called 4 in the pattern. So it's a size US 6 and it's size US 8. And let's see. And then, like I said, it was just some stash acrylic worsted weight yarn that I had. Okay, so that's it for my FOs. And on to works in progress. So losing my stuff. I am working on the Tulsi socks by the Wool Club, and I gave these quite a bit of love this week. It was pretty much the baby cardigan and these socks. So I'm really happy with my progress on this. So these are my Tulsi socks, and you can see right here, oop, I always grab the wrong one because I have my TV right behind me so that I can see what I'm looking at, and it's always backwards and throws me off. So that's where I was last time that I podcasted, which was about a week and a half ago. And that's how far I got. I turned the heel, and this was a really, really easy heel. It was the heel that is in the pattern. I don't know if this is just called a heel flap and gusset for a toe up or not. I don't know the specific name of it, or which type of heel this is, but it was a really, really nice heel. It fits me really well. Really happy with it. And then you can see on the back, I've started the pattern for the top half, for the leg. So I'm on my way to finishing these, guys. I'm hoping to have these done by next week. That would be super awesome. Have an FO 2 weeks in a row. That'd be craziness. But yeah, I really love this pattern. This is by Verena from the Wool Club. And the yarn that I'm using is Cascade Heritage Paints in the Iris Mix colorway, which is 9806. And I also decided that the next time I knit this pattern, which there will be a next time because I love this design, I adore it, but the next time that I knit it, I'm going to do contrast heels, cuffs, and toes for sure, which is what the pattern suggests anyways, or what's in the picture of the pattern. I just think that would look really cute. Not that this doesn't look cute, but I love heels, cuffs, and toes. I think it's really cute when they contrast. And but what had happened was I had cast these on. I don't even know when I cast on the toe up socks, I wasn't even sure of what pattern I was going to do. And so I just started them to have a pair of socks going. And then I think like a couple days later I had received an email that I had won this sock pattern. So I was like, perfect, I already have a pair of socks going. So I just figured I would do them on there. So that was why I didn't do the contrasting ones. But in reality, I could have just ripped them back, but I didn't. So, but I still, like I said, I still think they're very, very cute, and I enjoy them. I love the pattern. It's very easy to follow, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Definitely will be knitting this again. I ended up knitting the size bigger than what I usually am. And my reason behind that was because it doesn't have a 64 stitch count size. And so I went up to the next size and just to be safe. And I'm really glad I did, because these fit like a glove. Like perfect. They're not loose at all. So that was, I would recommend maybe going up a size. And I think just because the nature of this texture pattern, I think kind of tightens it up just a tad. And because I don't believe that I'm really a tight knitter. I mean, maybe I have tightened up a little bit, but just from what I've heard from other people, it sounds like they've been having a little bit of a snug fit, and mine have been fitting perfect. So that's my recommendation. But I also really suggest doing the toe up. You can do it cuff down, but I do suggest doing it toe up, because then you can try it on and you know, see how it's fitting, and then if you decide to just do a shorty sock, you know, it'll be able to fit pretty well for you. So yeah, those are my Tulsi socks. Very, very happy with those. And my other whip is my Cozy Memories blanket, which is now living in my Martha Stewart bag, which I love this. I just think it's so cute. It's a really nice durable canvas bag, which I got from my last episode. I talked about how I was able to receive some yarn that for a lady that can no longer knit, and this was one of the bags that she had. So I was really, 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 really thankful to receive that. I really enjoy that bag. So here's my Cozy Memories blanket. Didn't work a ton on this week, but I did add a new square. It's not finished, but this is the square that I'm adding. So it's got this gray, a little bit of gold to it, and the colorway is, or the yarn is Turtle Pearl Yarns in My Element is the colorway. And I'm really, really happy with this. I'm really happy with my blanket. It's coming along. Still need to catch up on my week by week square, which if you haven't heard before, if you're new to the podcast, I am making sure that by the end of the year I have knit at least 52 squares into my Cozy Memories blanket, because I started it January 1st of this year. So that's my goal. And I'm not caught up with how many weeks in the year it's been, but I'm really close to being caught up. So I really, really want to do that. And let's see. Yeah, that's really all I have for that. I'm hoping that by next week I can get caught up on that. Like I say, though, every time I say that's what I'm going to do, I never do it. But it's such a relaxing knit to have the Cozy Memories blanket. I love it. I was really stressed out earlier this week, and I just grabbed my Cozy Memories blanket and I knit on it, and I watched a podcast, and it like totally zen me out immediately. So I really love it for that, and I'm looking forward to it cooling down a little bit so that as it's growing I can work on it more and more. So yeah, that is all I have for my works in progress. I do have another one that I'm working on, but that is part of our knit along, so I will talk about that in the knit along section. Alright, so we are hosting a knit along with Catherine of the Blue Cookie Knits podcast, and it is a Connecting Continents knit along. And what the idea behind this knit along is that you use a yarn from one country and a pattern from another country and knit them. And I thought I would go over a few of the rules just in case you are just checking this out for the first time and want to know a little more information about it. It started July 1st, so we asked that no works in progress from before July 1st be used, but anything that you've cast on since that is from pattern from one country, yarn from another country, totally allowed. And this knit along goes until September 30th. Also, double dipping is totally allowed and encouraged, definitely. And let's see, you also can post in both groups, the Blue Cookie Knits podcast group and my group. And also, I wanted to mention, a lot of people have already done this, but just in case, I wanted to mention that to feel free to post in the finished object thread and the chatter thread for your finished object. So, for example, in the finished object thread, we ask for no chattering. That way it's easier to draw for names. But if you want to post your finished object in the chatter thread as well, that way we can talk about it and say how amazing it is and everything. So, because I love, it's so hard, like when there's a picture that got posted in the FO thread and I just want to comment on it and say how amazing it is. So, but I know a lot of people have already done that, but I thought I would just mention that. And let's see, I guess that's it as far as, rules, if you will. So my project that I'm working on is my On the Spice Market shawl by Melanie Berg. And I worked a little bit on this. I worked on it one night this week, but I got quite a little bit done. And I'm on my last little bit of the gradient. There's 6 gradient colors in here, as you can see. And this is the last one of this section. So then after this, I will be working on, if you haven't seen the shawl, what it looks like. But so you can see that there is the color striping on the bottom, and then it goes into like a most of the plain color, and then there's like little pops of color throughout the middle. And I'm just about to get to that section, so I'm really excited about that. And I think it's just so pretty, so pretty. But I love knitting on this. Well, first I'll tell you about the yarn. The yarn that I'm using is Miss Bab's Yummy 2-ply base, and it's a gradient that they had. And I believe this was actually a gradient set that they used for this specific shawl. I just opted for the one that didn't come with the main color in it, and the gradient was called Perseus. And I'm really enjoying that. It's such a luxury yarn. It's nice, and I mean, it's just super wash merino. It's not cashmere or anything, but it's amazing. So soft and squishy, and I really like the 2-ply. I'll show you. It's just got such neat texture to it, and I'm just really enjoying this knit. I strongly recommend it to anybody who's been wanting to knit this shawl because it's just so gorgeous. I love it. like I've said before, I think it's going to look really, really cool with using the blue gradient. I think it's going to look really cool in the winter, like right after Christmas time, or even during Christmas time. I just think that's going to look cool. And so while I was knitting on this the other night, we had turned on, it was just before bed. We'd just gotten ready for bed, we were laying down, and I was, getting out my knitting, and we had turned on, it's on Netflix, it's called Slow TV, and it is let's see, I want to make sure I say this right, the train ride Bergen to Oslo. And what it is, it's literally just, there's like, it's literally video of a train, and like the camera is on the front of the train, so you're seeing it like through the eyes of the conductor, and it is so cool. Like, you would think it wouldn't really be that interesting, but it's really, really neat. And it's like 5 hours long. We only watched just a little bit and I think fell asleep to it, but you get to see all of like Norway's countryside, and oh my gosh, it's so pretty and so relaxing. Like, I was just amazed at how enjoyable it was to watch that while knitting, and I was like pretending I was on the Hogwarts Express while I was knitting on it, and it was so much fun. So totally go check that out if you looking for something to watch. Like I said, I think it's best to watch it like just before bed, because I think it'll get you kind of sleepy. But I really, really enjoyed that, watching that while knitting. You really do feel like you're on the train. And also they have the Slow TV, excuse me, has the National Knitting Night, I think is what it's called. National Knitting Event. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. But it's, if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix, and they did a whole evening. I haven't watched all of it yet. It's about 3 hours long, but there's a whole evening of knitting that they did, and they showcase traditional Norwegian styles of knitting on there. And I mean, they just have a ton of stuff. There's a couple of women that are going for the world record of, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that they were knitting to cover up a Harley Davidson. It was just so funny. But I've been really enjoying watching that too. That's really cool. So go check that out if you haven't heard about that yet. But as far as that is it for the Knit Along news. Go check out Catherine's podcast if you have not. Once again, it's the Lou Cookie Knits podcast. And yeah, next up, I'm going to talk about what I received in the mail this week. So I also forgot to mention what I am drinking this week. I actually have a beverage with me this time. Usually it's just too hot for me to drink any tea. Or I just forget to tell you what I'm drinking on. But this week I thought I'd actually tell you what I have. I've got some Tazo tea in the Wild Sweet Orange. And this is my mug that I adore. Oh my gosh, I love this mug. I've showed this before. This is from a local potter in my town called the Lavender Fleece, and it's amazing. I just love it. She has a whole bowl and plate and cup set, and it's amazing. I wanted all of it, but I just love this thing. Oh, isn't it just perfect? I love it. But it's so warm, and it's perfect in the wintertime. It's a little warm out today, but it's not too bad. Not too much that I can't have some tea, because my throat's a little full of allergies today, so it's nice to have a little bit to drink on. So in the mail this week, I received a Just Because package from Linda, and Linda is my friend in Canada, and it's so funny like how this worked out, because she was my mini skein swap partner when I did one earlier. I want to say, was that summer, or I can't remember if it was summer or in spring, and it was through the Grocery Girls podcast, and we were swap partners, and we became really good friends through that. And it's just so cool how the knitting community works, it's just so much fun to make friends, and I want to be friends with everybody. I love everybody. I love it. And I love how sweet everybody is to each other, and so encouraging, and it's just, the knitting community is so unlike other communities, and that's sad to say that there are people like that out there. But the knitting community is just the best one to be involved in. So, but yeah, Linda messaged me and said that she was gonna send me some more minis out for my blanket. So thank you so much, Linda. That was so sweet. I was over the moon when I received the package, and that was so kind of you to just send that to me just because. So thank you. I'm sending you a hug through the camera, and I really appreciate it. So here is what she sent me. First, I'll show you these. She sent me some little wool washes, and I'm excited to try these out because I want to try some different scents. And the ones that she sent me are Eucalyptus, Eucalyptus, and Rapture, and the Jasmine scent. Then she sent me some stitch markers and progress keepers. I love these little stitch markers. This is Knit Nosh. It says Yarn, Wine, Food, and Fun. So I'm wondering if maybe she has an Etsy shop. I don't know. There's no information on it. It just says Knit Nosh on it with a Knosh. I think that's cute. Excuse me. And then I was so excited to see this. This is one of those little Progress Keeper holders from Barbara of Knitting I Love. And I have seen these on so many podcasts, and I've always wanted to try it, and oh my gosh, I was so excited when I saw this. And it's, such a neat felt. It's just so cool. And then Linda also sent me a little owl Progress Keeper and a little apple. Perfect for fall. Oh, so I was very excited to receive that. Really excited to try that out. And then she made me a little DPN holder. I love this. And look at the fabric on the inside. So sweet. You so did not have to send me this, Linda. This was just so kind of you. So sweet. And then, guys, check this out. All these minis. Oh my gosh. So sweet. So sweet. I'll see if I can insert a video of all of them, but like this is Baron Vola. Oh my gosh. Turtle Pearl, Spotting Chloe. Oh my gosh, so many. I won't go through them all, but oh my gosh. Thank you, Linda. I know I've said it a million times, so thank you. So thankful. And then the other thing that I'm participating in, which will be going out soon, is the Thinking of You swap for September. And that's part of the Antonella Makes podcast group. And so go check her out. She also has the Antonella Makes podcast, which is formerly the Diary of a Yarnaholic podcast. So go check Antonella out. She's one of my good friends. And this swap that they've got going on, I did one last month, and or in August. I did this month. And what it is it's part of it was part of the Operation Whip Control. I think they're going to keep doing it though till the end of the year. And what it is we were sending out like a mini skein or two and a little note card to your partner that you get, and just kind of say, keep up the good work on your whips. And like I said, now it's kind of just turning into we're thinking of you, and here's a little bit of snail mail to cheer you up. So I am doing that again in September, and I am really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be packing up my little swap package for my partner today. So I'm really, really excited about that. And like I said, go check out Antonella Makes podcast. And that's it for my mail this week. I am expecting my second yarn of a Homespun House Harry Potter Yarn Club. I know on her last podcast she said that they were getting sent out, and that was about 2 weeks ago, so it should be here any day. So I'm very, very excited for that. So that should be on next week's podcast. And other thing I'd like to talk about is some dream knitting. I've never really talked about that before on here, so I thought that would be kind of fun. I always like hearing about what other people want to knit and what they're thinking about knitting, and maybe what they're planning to knit. These are mostly some things that I want to knit, but I still have to learn the technique to do it. So it's probably going to be a little bit. But one of the patterns that I am obsessed with is the Brioche Chevron Wrap by Stephen West. Oh my gosh. If you have not seen this, go check it out. I'll try and remember to post a picture here because I know that really helps us just so much easier. It is awesome. It's so stunning, and you can use, scrap yarn to knit it. You have like a base, like he used a marled yarn as the main color, and then you just use your scraps as the contrasting colors. And oh, it's just so pretty. And I know he's got a cowl for it, a wrap, and I believe a blanket, but I really want to do the wrap so bad. But I've never knit brioche, so that's where I'm getting with that. I've never knit brioche, and I really want to give it a try. I don't know, I don't think that's probably the best one for me to start out with. I'm going to give it a go on maybe just some scrap yarn to try it out. I know there's a tutorial out on YouTube by Mina Phillip from the Knitting Expat podcast, and she walks you through it. I know there's some other tutorials out there as well. So I want to learn how to do brioche. Other podcasters and I were talking, and we were saying that maybe in the new year we would do like a brioche knit along, and so I think that would be fun. So I think I think I want to do that in the beginning of the year. So the other one is another brioche knit. It's a new one, just came out. It's called Ramble, and it's by Andrea Mowry, who is a Michigander. And so I gotta support that. And she just came out with this. It's a set, and I believe it's a shawl, a hat, and fingerless mitts, I think. And it was a collaboration, and I think it's just those three. But it is so stunning, and it's once again it's a little bit ahead of my abilities right now. But maybe this time next year I can do that one. But it's so gorgeous. So yeah, like I said, I think a brioche knit along is going to definitely be in the cards in the future to get me to try that out, and especially to anyone else that wants to give brioche a try. Next thing that I want to talk about is some pod love. I received a podcast shout out from Candy of the Paws4Stitches Podcast. And I actually had checked out Candy a couple months ago. I think it was earlier this summer. And it was so funny because what caught my eye on her podcast was her icon or avatar, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube is a black lab and a yellow lab. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to check this out. Because I realized by the name that it was probably a knitting podcast. And I checked it out and I really enjoyed it. And then I meant to reach out to her to tell her that I had, black lab and yellow lab, and it was just one of those things that slipped my mind. Well, she reached out to me and said, oh, I've got a black lab and yellow lab too. So that was really, really funny that she had found my podcast and said the same thing. So that was really funny. So hi, Candy. Thank you for the shout out. I really, really appreciate it. And she's going to be joining in on the Connecting Continents Knit Along with her Spindrift shawl. So, but yeah, go check out Candy. She, her little puppies are so cute. Oh, but I am a little biased, but yeah. So go check out Candy. And then last thing, or second to last thing I want to talk about is my Etsy shop. So I mentioned last week that I was starting an Etsy shop, and I ended up putting the yarn in the shop last week. So I posted about it on Instagram. I'm sorry if you didn't get to catch it because I didn't podcast before. I'm going to try and make it so that I podcast before I put it in the shop. That way maybe somebody that watches the podcast but isn't on Instagram can know that it's coming up. So I'm thinking for the next update that it will be next Tuesday, which is the 6th, I believe. Yes, the 6th. So Tuesday the 6th is what I'm going to try for. And that's kind of loosely right now. I will I'm gonna try for the 6th, but maybe it'll be sooner. Maybe it'll be a little bit later. But I will obviously let you know. If you want, I'll put a update on the announcements on Etsy. If you go to my shop page, which is thewoolenhomestead.etsy.com, and that's where I'll put for sure what day there will be an update. But I'm gonna try for next Tuesday, and probably at, I'd say like 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's also probably going to be determined as well, but right now we'll say 5 o'clock, and then I'll put on there if it's any different or if it changes. But I also just wanted to say a huge thank you to anybody who bought the yarn. That made my day. It was such a cool feeling. It was so cool, and I just couldn't believe it that somebody wanted to buy my yarn. So thank you again, and I will definitely be posting some. My favorite color is October colorway, and that was a pretty big hit. So I was really happy about that, and I will definitely be making more of that. Be dyeing up more of that, and I'm hoping that kind of this update will be more fall related, and have, just it's so close to fall, and I just can't wait. There is still 2 skeins left. It's one colorway. It's the Luna Lovegood colorway, but there's 2 of these left, and I'll show you both. But they were both dyed in the same pot at the same time, and I just think this is so fun. I am going to dye up some of this for myself. If these are sold before the next update, then I will try and put some more in the shop. But like I said, for sure it's going to be my favorite color is October, and then maybe some other fall colorways. But I just love this colorway. I want to knit some socks out of this so bad. I'm still not sure which pattern to use with it, but I love that. Oh, I love that little hunk of blue right there. But yeah, I think that socks, these need to be socks. Although a shawl would be really pretty too, but I think it's socks. But so yeah, that's it for my Etsy shop. And once again, thank you. Even if you just favorited my shop or liked, some of the yarns on there, thank you. I really appreciate it. Even just checking it out, it means a lot to me, so thank you. And then last but not least, I figured I'd talk about my chit-chat section, which is just what's been going on in my life, and, not really knitting related. So, the last week and a half, I went and saw Miss Rascal, and if you don't know who Rascal is, she is the horse that I had shown in a couple episodes before. That I am learning how to take care of a horse, how to, not really riding right now, but we will get back into riding eventually. But right now we've just been kind of doing groundwork, and I went out and saw her. My friend Dory has her, and it is so therapeutic going out and seeing that horse. I love her so much, and she's so good and so level-headed, and I know she's still a horse. She can still spook, she can still get nervous, and she does, but she hasn't really spooked on me yet, but she's awesome. She's so sweet, and the smell is amazing. I love horse smell. I love barn smell. And I just go out and I'll brush on her for a while, and just hang out, talk with Dory. We have country music on the radio, and it's so relaxing going out there. And so we brush her out, and then we go out in the pasture, and she's kind of got a little fenced off area that we kind of did some groundwork. So something else that's going on is I am not going to school this fall. I originally was planning on it, and then I was all signed up and everything, and then there was just kind of a mishap with registration, and I didn't realize that I had a little bit of a balance to pay. I thought that I was all completely good and done, and I got dropped from my classes, so I was really bummed about that, but I'm kind of seeing it as a blessing in a way that I can really focus on my Etsy shop, focus on the podcast, and go work with Rascal like I was just talking about, and go visit with my mom. My mom is getting ready to move, and she hasn't sold her house yet, but there's a chance, that she could at any time. And so I want to, we kind of, me and my husband talked about it and decided, maybe this is a good thing, and I'll go back again in the winter semester. So I'm kind of thankful that happened, and it's nice to have the break from it. So and let's see. Oh, and then the other thing, I talked about this before, but I thought I'd mention it again. I am going to be at the Ann Arbor Fiber Expo, which is in October. It's October 22nd and 23rd, I believe. Saturday is the 22nd, and that's the day I'll be going. And my mom should be coming with me, and yeah, I'm really excited. There's going to be quite a few vendors there that I know, some I know personally, but most, that I just know of and I've never seen. Caitlin of Mint Rain Hand Dyed Yarns, I know her. She is going to be there. I'm excited to see her. And Leading Men Fiber Arts is going to be there. I've heard of them, but never seen their yarn before. What is her name? I believe it's Boho Chic Fiber Arts. I'll put it down here. But she's going to be there. She's from Michigan, so she's got some lovely yarns. I can't wait to check her stuff out. And quite a few others. So go check out, I believe it's just AnnArborFiberExpo.com, and they've got the whole list of everyone that's going to be there. But yeah, if you're planning on going, let me know. I have a thread up in the Ravelry group, and or if you're there and you see me, come say hi. I'd love to meet you. So yeah, I believe that's all I've got for you guys this week. And then he says bye, and he's he's so tired. Such a good baby. But yeah, that's it, and I hope you guys once again are happy and healthy, getting a lot of knitting done and getting excited for fall, if it's going to be fall for you guys. And I know on the other part of the world it's not, but for you, if it's going to be fall, get excited and have all of the apple cider and donuts that you can eat. So I will talk to you guys later, and see you next time. Bye.